Bruno Mars shocked America again, this time not with a surprise album or a Super Bowl stage takeover, but with a digital sales explosion that few artists in the streaming era have managed to pull off. After his stunning Grammy performance alongside Rosé, their collaboration Apt surged by an astonishing 339% overnight, instantly reigniting public attention and sparking conversations across the music industry. The moment was more than just another chart bump. It was a powerful reminder of Bruno Mars' rare ability to turn a single performance into a cultural event. As Apt rocketed back onto Billboard's digital song sales chart at number 12, the industry watched closely, aware that something bigger than numbers was unfolding, a renewed chapter in the career of one of America's most consistent hitmakers. The lead story is simple but striking. Following their joint appearance at the Grammy Awards, Bruno Mars and Rosé saw Apt experience a massive spike in digital sales, increasing by 339% in a single tracking week. The surge came as viewers flooded streaming platforms and online stores, driven by a performance that blended pop sophistication, emotional resonance, and cross-cultural appeal. In an era dominated by short viral clips, Bruno Mars once again proved the enduring power of live television and musical storytelling. For Bruno Mars, this moment is the latest highlight in a career defined by reinvention, precision, and a relentless commitment to musical excellence. Born Peter Gene Hernandez in Honolulu, Hawaii, he was raised in a family immersed in music, performing in his parents' band from a young age. His early exposure to classic soul, funk, rock, and R&B shaped the sound that would later become his signature, a style that feels timeless yet modern, nostalgic yet innovative. After moving to Los Angeles as a teenager, Bruno Mars initially struggled to find his footing. He faced multiple rejections from record labels and was dropped early in his career, a setback that forced him to focus on songwriting and production behind the scenes. During this period, he co-wrote hits for other artists, including Nothing on You and Billionaire, which eventually opened doors for his solo breakthrough. When his debut album arrived, it wasn't just successful, it was transformational, establishing him as a major force in pop music. Over the years, Bruno Mars has built a reputation not only as a chart topper but as a cultural architect. From the retro soul of Just the Way You Are to the funk revival of Uptown Funk and the sleek R&B of 24K Magic, his work consistently bridges generations. Each era of his career feels distinct yet connected, driven by a deep respect for musical history and a fearless approach to genre fusion. The collaboration with Rosé on Apt marks a significant evolution in his artistry. Rosé, a global pop star known for her emotional vocal delivery and massive international following, brings a fresh dynamic to Bruno Mars' sound. Together, they created a song that blends Western pop sensibilities with global pop influence, a reflection of the increasingly borderless music landscape. Industry insiders say the collaboration was not a spontaneous decision but the result of careful creative alignment. According to a producer close to the project, Bruno Mars doesn't chase trends, he studies people. When he heard Rosé's voice, he immediately recognized the emotional honesty that would elevate the song. He wanted a record that felt intimate but universal. That intention is evident in Apt, which resonates not only because of its melody, but because of its emotional clarity. The Grammy performance was the catalyst that reignited the song's commercial momentum. Viewers described the moment as intimate, cinematic, and emotionally charged. The staging was minimal, allowing the vocals and chemistry between the artists to take center stage. In a night filled with spectacle, their performance stood out for its restraint and authenticity. A veteran music critic commented, "What Bruno Mars did on that stage was remind people why live music still matters. It wasn't about fireworks or choreography, it was about connection. That's something algorithms can't replicate." The sales surge that followed served as proof. Fans didn't just watch, they acted, they streamed, they purchased, they shared. The performance translated directly into measurable commercial impact. For the American music industry, this moment represents more than just a successful collaboration. It signals the enduring relevance of artists who prioritize craftsmanship over trends. In a market increasingly driven by short attention spans, Bruno Mars continues to demonstrate that emotional depth, musical precision, and live performance excellence remain powerful tools for longevity. This surge also highlights the evolving relationship between live television and digital consumption. While streaming dominates music discovery, major broadcast events like the Grammys still hold immense influence when paired with artists capable of creating unforgettable moments. Bruno Mars has long understood this balance. His previous televised performances, from the Super Bowl to award shows, have consistently translated into spikes in sales, streams, and cultural conversation. Beyond numbers, the collaboration with Rosé reflects Bruno Mars' growing role as a global connector. As music audiences become more international, artists who can bridge cultural and stylistic divides gain a distinct advantage. Bruno Mars has never confined himself to a single sound or audience. His willingness to collaborate across genres and borders positions him as a uniquely adaptable figure in modern pop music. Behind the scenes, those who work with Bruno Mars describe a perfectionist with a deep respect for musical integrity. One longtime collaborator shared, "Bruno doesn't walk into a studio and wait for inspiration. He walks in with a vision. He knows what the song should feel like before the first note is played, and he's not afraid to rewrite, re-record, or rethink until it feels right." This meticulous approach is evident in the polish of Apt and the precision of its live performance. Yet despite his meticulous standards, Bruno Mars remains known for his humility and collaborative spirit. Rosé reportedly described the experience of working with him as surprisingly relaxed and deeply inspiring. She noted that while his reputation as a hitmaker is intimidating, his presence in the studio was supportive, focused, and grounded. That chemistry translated into a performance that felt genuine rather than manufactured. The impact of this moment extends beyond charts and sales. It reinforces Bruno Mars' influence on pop culture, particularly in shaping how artists approach longevity. In an industry often driven by constant reinvention, he has mastered the art of evolution, maintaining a core musical identity while adapting to changing cultural landscapes. This balance has allowed him to remain relevant across more than a decade of shifting trends. From a broader perspective, the success of Apt also reflects changing consumer behavior. While streaming dominates, fans still respond strongly to moments that feel authentic, rare, and emotionally resonant. The Grammy performance was not just a promotional opportunity, it was a storytelling moment. Bruno Mars and Rosé didn't just perform a song, they shared a narrative, and audiences responded accordingly. A senior music executive summarized the phenomenon. "What we saw wasn't just a sales spike, it was proof of trust. Audiences trust Bruno Mars. When he steps on stage, people pay attention. And when he collaborates, they believe in the outcome. That trust is incredibly rare and incredibly valuable." As the industry continues to evolve, Bruno Mars' career offers a blueprint for sustainable success. He has never relied solely on viral trends or algorithmic popularity. Instead, he has built a reputation rooted in live performance excellence, songwriting craftsmanship, and emotional authenticity. These qualities are not easily replicated, and they explain why moments like this continue to resonate. The story of Apt is not an isolated success but part of a larger narrative arc. It reflects Bruno Mars' ongoing ability to surprise, to connect, and to remain culturally relevant in a landscape that moves faster than ever. It also underscores the power of collaboration not as a marketing tactic, but as a creative exchange that can unlock new dimensions of artistry. Looking ahead, industry watchers are already speculating about what comes next. Will this collaboration lead to more cross-genre projects? Could it signal a new musical era for Bruno Mars, one that leans even further into global pop influences? While no official announcements have been made, those close to the artist suggest that he is far from slowing down. One producer hinted, "Bruno is always thinking 3 steps ahead. This moment isn't the destination, it's part of a larger journey. He's exploring new sounds, new partnerships, and new ways to tell stories through music." If history is any indication, those explorations will likely translate into future hits, memorable performances, and continued cultural impact. In the end, the 339% sales surge is not just a statistic, it is a symbol. It represents the enduring power of live performance, the value of artistic integrity, and the unique position Bruno Mars occupies in American pop culture. He is not merely a hitmaker, he is a storyteller, a performer, and a bridge between musical eras and audiences. As the spotlight continues to shine on Bruno Mars, one thing remains clear: his influence is not fading, it is evolving. And if the reaction to Apt is any indication, audiences are not only ready for what comes next, they are eager for it. Bruno Mars is once again commanding national attention after his powerful Grammy appearance sparked a dramatic resurgence for the hit collaboration Apt, alongside Rosé. Following the televised performance, digital sales of the track surged by 339%, sending it back onto Billboard's digital song sales chart and reigniting conversation across the American music industry. In an era dominated by streaming algorithms and viral trends, Bruno Mars proved that a single live moment can still move the market. For over a decade, Bruno Mars has remained one of pop's most consistent and influential performers. From his early breakthrough with soulful ballads to the funk-driven dominance of 24K Magic, he has built a reputation for precision, showmanship, and cross-generational appeal. His ability to blend classic R&B influences with modern pop production continues to set him apart in a crowded industry.